running the same Gardevoir deck. This time going to be down a 1-1 line of the Kirlia. See how that comes into play.
The Metacham V in the prizes for Tyler, though, does have an access to Hisuian Heavy Ball, so it's not stuck there for the entire game, but it is one of those cards that is very good in a matchup like this where your opponent has low HP basic Pokemon.
Yeah, you certainly could see that coming into play. Coming up one of those wild turns that we're so used to seeing from the Rapid Strike players. Maybe incorporated here too.
Bodhi starts things off with probably the best start you can ask for. Mew in the active spot, Battle VIP Pass in hand already. This could be a pretty good turn one.
He's like, all right, I've been saving this hand for when I go on stream. Don't know what the rest of the hand is, but honestly, you see those two cards, you're probably pretty happy. And you can already see it's although he's still a young man, he's got the grit. Go ahead and look through the deck, see all the cards, and get some good information down. Write down those prize cards. You don't always see players go for the notepad early on, but usually they probably were trained up by someone pretty good if they do.
Maybe, yeah. Or, you know, you're just a international champion from the senior division age and up.
Yeah.
You kind of pick up a few things.
Maybe you're training people instead.
This is Bodhi's first season in the Masters division, and he has been very consistent, making 3 day 2s so far. A lot of people are just trying to get that first day 2. Same.
Why'd you look at me?
You're the only one to look at.
I got my day 2. Calm down.
Last season?
Peoria, calm down.
Oh, Peoria, that's right. Chien Pao. Concealed cards for Bodhi here.
Ooh.
And then, Mysterious Tail only finds a Super Rod. That's not really the item you want early on. You want more Pokemon Search here. And is there another Ralts available to Bodhi this turn?
Not that I see, which means that's more of a mysterious fail.
Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, only having access to 1 Ralts is going to be very detrimental, especially against a deck like Iron Valiant, where they're very known for taking easy knockouts on these small basic Pokemon.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, maybe we shouldn't have talked about the hand like it was great. This that did not work out very well. Plenty of opportunities to find better cards, more Pokemon, and
Speaking of finding more Pokemon, Hisuian Heavy Ball.
Well, cat's out of the bag. we know where Metacham is. Get to hold on to that. But it's only 1 Ralts. This is a great problem to see on the other side when you're starting to think about where the damage is going to be placed when I'm moving in and out with this Iron Valiant. We're going to target that Pokemon pretty quickly.
You think?
Yes.
This hand, though, is a little awkward.
Ooh, you're right. Yeah, there were multiple Magma Basin, an Escape Rope, but not another Iron Valiant to incorporate into the mix. So let's look at 6 other cards. Try again.
6 cards for Bodhi is actually pretty good. You have that Mirage Step Kirlia in hand, but wow!
Ooh.
Double Battle VIP Pass off the Iono. This is what you want to see from Tyler's board.
Let's go.
You got a Fire Energy, 4 Seal
There's an
Stone,
escape
Rope. It's a pretty good hand, Kyle.
He's cooking.
This Battle VIP Pass will allow Tyler to fill the bench up. You're seeing that Squawkabilly EX brought to the front of the deck. That is one of the best cards for this Iron Valiant deck, and just extending your turn, getting those plays, and hopefully hitting a nice Yoga Loop. But we also see that Entei V, just one of the best attackers paired with Iron Valiant EX. We saw it rise to fame in LAIC, getting 2nd place.
Yeah, so much fun to watch, and love to see the Squawkabilly inclusion. This is going to be quite the opening turn. There's a lot of potential for fireworks. We see the Magma Basin, obviously the Moltres played down as well. If that Fire Energy can reach the discard pile, you can throw that right back onto this Pokemon and easily take an opening knockout with that Inferno Wings.
Now with the board full, there's only the 2 Iron Valiants, so you're only able to deal upwards of 40 damage, and I think we're going to target that Mew down. It has 60 HP compared to the 70 from Ralts. There's that 4 Seal Stone, and
yeah,
this is looking pretty scary.
This is so wise. Just Tyler understands the situation. Not only can you deal some pretty relevant damage into Pokemon like that Radiant Greninja, but that sets up an issue where Bodhi then needs to retreat if he goes to the Mirage Step Curlia. And if Mirage Step is active, you don't need damage on it. You're going to probably knock it out with a Moltres next turn. So deal the damage to the Mew, and then you can take those prize cards later on.
This hand's a little bit awkward, Kyle. Tyler did find a switch card, but needing 2 switch outs to really pull together that Yoga Loop this turn with a Forest Seal Stone searching for that double turbo energy. I don't think we have it, so we're just going to have that Entei V in the active spot. Magma Basin attached an energy to it. We're going to have a Fleet-Footed to draw an extra card. Super Rod's not it.
Yep. Good sequencing there. Entei ready to roll. Easy knockout there on the Radiant Greninja. Just reduce the amount of options your opponent has to draw into better cards. Maybe you can avoid seeing that Mirage Step Curlia, but we know it's waiting on the other side.
Yeah, this plays into Bodhi's hand perfectly. You already have that Mirage Step in hand. You have a Psychic Energy to retreat this Mew. It's going to be able to search through the deck to grab that Jirachi, try and stop that Yoga Loop from happening on any of the bench Pokemon.
It's a tricky Pokemon to work around. We've seen it included in a lot of different decks trying to avoid whatever matchup where that could come into play. And sure enough, this is one situation where you need to look out for that.
And here you see Fog Crystal fetching a Ralts, and that's because Bodhi knows there's a Curlia prized. So Mirage Step is only going to grab a 2, and you actually have the bench space for it, along with the Jirachi. Always good to Mysterious Tail first, though.
Yeah, just get all that information. Also, just like seeing you don't throw it onto the bench immediately. Let's look at all of our options first. See all the cards. That's better than Super Rod.
And look at this turn. And just like that, that knockout enabled this reversal energy to be active. And Bodhi's able to grab 2 Curlia, put him directly on the bench. But is going to be down 2 prize cards at least with an attack from Tyler. And wow, the next card was the switch card needed. If only Squawkabilly draws 7.
It doesn't need a buff.
Colress's Experiment is going to be the supporter for Tyler here. And it's not a Lost Zone deck, but a lot of decks utilize this supporter just because it's great advantage being able to get 3 cards off the top of your deck without having to do anything else with your hand. You can also get rid of some cards that you might not need for the game, or you might have to get rid of cards that you will need, like these 2 double turbo in these 5 cards, along with that Radiant Charizard.
Exactly. Yeah, these. It's a tricky call, but it makes sense there. You need to hold on to these Pokemon. You're going to need options if your opponent does start to attack with the Pokemon, like the Gardevoir EX. It's one of those that you may be just out of reach, so having an option like that Radiant Charizard down the road is going to be excellent for you.
Fleet-Footed did draw into that Technical Machine Devolution.
Sure. We'll be corrected soon, I'm sure. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't pick up those Curlias as we would maybe hope to see if you're a Tyler fan.
Switch card is going to bring up that Iron Valiant EX, and Jirachi's Stellar Veil does not stop abilities. So Tachyon Bits still adding damage to that Mew. What else? We got another switch in hand. Access to Forest Seal Stone.
Medicham beneficiary of that double turbo, and the switch comes down as well. Obviously not a turn for the Medicham there, as you see the Jirachi still in play. Take the knockout on that Curlia. Bodhi still in a pretty solid position. This is what Gardevoir is built to do. You give up those opening prize cards. You understand what Mirage Step was able to accomplish, and it provides you opportunities to find cards like Super Rod when you do have that 1/1 of the Curlia in the prizes, and maybe you can start to build up on that other Ralts or this new bench base.
One big thing to think about, too, is with the Mew having 4 damage counters on it, Bodhi's not able to Psychic Embrace to it to retreat.
Ooh, yeah.
That means this reversal energy in hand cannot be attached manually to a Gardevoir to get that extra boost, and Bodhi's going to have to attach to the active to retreat here.
Yeah, that starts to become an issue when you think about the de-evolution, devolution, because you might have to add upwards of 4 psychic energies to this to the eventual Gardevoir, and then you just walk into a knockout.
Oh, wow. Ultra Ball discards that Shining Arcana Gardevoir and a Psychic Energy. Bodhi goes ahead and grabs that Gardevoir EX, evolves the Kirlia that just used Refinement, and now we're actually going to start seeing an attack this turn, potentially. Yeah, attaches that Reversal Energy to the active, just so Bodhi can retreat. Super Rod, and then we're going to see an Iono.
Yeah, this is great here. Obviously, Bodhi realized with the discard of that Gardevoir that Super Rod was going to be the play. And valuing, looks like the Radiant Greninja over the Kirlia. Might just be a nod to the fact that there's still plenty of rare candies for this. Ralts will be able to evolve that Pokemon easy peasy.
But the Devolution, Kyle.
The Devolution!
Iono here is going to be the supporter for Bodhi. Draws a new hand. We see the Refinement. That's not going to be too much. You did draw into that Gardevoir yet again. Shining Arcana finds another level ball. Super Rod. Mysterious Tail Counter Catcher. That's going to be a pretty good one here. Maybe we can bring up that Medicham V and take a knockout on it.
Yeah, it's always worrisome when you know your opponent could potentially just take an additional turn for fun. So you can avoid that issue there. And we've seen a bit of awkwardness with just the fact that the Entei has gone unchecked. It means that the fire energies don't reach the discard pile. There's not energies being accelerated by way of the Magma Basin. And I guess it's not too big of a problem. You have a pretty good attacker lined up, but we don't see anything really happening on Tyler's side of the board.
Bodhi is retreating here, but debating on what to bring up. I guess you can attack with that Gardevoir EX since the Medicham is weak to Psychic.
Ooh, I was wondering if he was going to do this. Super Rod level ball just to play the Kirlia. I do like it. It doesn't seem like the best use of your resources, but ultimately, I think trying to keep up on this board position is going to be very important here.
That's both Super Rod down, though, and Bodhi could have avoided that just by putting the Kirlia back in the deck instead of that Radiant Greninja.
But he got a Ralts down.
Counter Catcher here is going to bring up that Medicham V. This is going to be easy 2 prizes for Bodhi to tie things up. And only having to place 6 damage counters on this Gardevoir EX in the active spot. But that means it's 1 Tachyon bits away from getting knocked out with that technical machine.
Yeah. We are all tied up here. That early lead from Tyler evaporated already, but there's some relevant damage in play. You start to worry about the hand when Entei is promoted to start the turn, though.
What do you mean?
Like at least you have some fleet-footed, but I don't know what else we got going on.
Well, you're not going to promote Iron Valiant to not get Tachyon bits.
Well, maybe if we had a lot of switches, just be like, good enough.
Forest Seal Stone is going to be added to that Entei V. That was important to note. The Forest Seal Stone that was on the Medicham V was not used. So Bodhi taking out that Medicham with the double turbo, but also the Forest Seal Stone. Tyler does have that response and plays a Professor's Research to refill that hand. So you were worried about the hand. There's 7 new cards in it now.
Yeah, it got much better, and it certainly makes a lot more sense. So there's some switch cards, these switch as well, and plenty of additional damage to go around.
Now,
who cares about de-evolution? There might just be knockout.
Yeah, that is true. Earthen Vessel is going to discard a Fire Energy to search for another one. This will enable Magma Basin to charge up the other Entei V on the bench if Tyler wants. You can also go the route of that Moltres.
Yeah, what a great card for a deck like this. Just getting those Fire Energies into the discard pile, finding some additional resources. You can build a secondary attacker here soon, and that's all Tyler's really looking for at this point. Just continue to provide some threats, and there's a world where you can just aggressively go through all of the Gardevoir EX. It's a key that Bodhi needs in order to stay in this game. And if you have Boss's Hoarders, you might be able to take them all out.
Well, 2 Tachyon bits later, That Gardevoir EX is now sitting with 210 HP left. And we have Entei doing 220. That's good math.
That's good math. The Rondo lined up.
Magma Basin is going to attach that fire energy to that Entei V on the bench. And Tyler will be able to attach the double turbo to retreat. And here we're going to see a burning Rondo to take a big 2 prizes. And with no energy on Bodhi's side of the field, you're going to have to play down another Gardevoir EX to take a knockout. That Mew's also sitting with 20 HP left. That's pretty easy to just grab that prize, and it's looking real rough.
Yeah, even single prizes at a point like this, you could knock out that Mew and maybe take out one of these lower hit point Pokemon pretty easily too to close out a game like this. And
now
Bodhi's considering all of those things.
You do see in the deck still there is that 1 copy of Collapse Stadium.
Yep.
If Bodhi is able to draw into that, you can use it to get rid of that Mew. And that easy prize card from Tyler. Manaphy is the card found with Level Ball, and going to start things off with the Shining Arcana. Finds that Zacian V and a Lost Vacuum. Lost Vacuum could be good to get rid of that Forest Seal Stone.
Yeah, that works out really well there. Already found an additional Pokemon to use with the Collapse Stadium, so you don't need that Manaphy anymore. Throw that away and avoid that resource being found with the Forest Seal Stone. Now you start to wonder, is there any hand disruption? Looks like there is. Yep. Iono.
It's going to be a big supporter for Bodhi here. Going to make Tyler's hand 2 cards. Bodhi's going to get 4, but these 4 cards need to be great. And Ultra Ball is pretty great.
Well, and Rare Candy.
Ultra Ball discarding that Battle VIP Pass, and Cresselia will find this Gardevoir EX. Bodhi has that Rare Candy in hand, so you can go ahead and evolve that Ralts on the bench. You can also evolve that Curlia.
It's just, you're just damaging your own board so much at this point.
Yeah.
It hurts. Obviously, this is what has to happen. You need to get enough energies down to remove this threat from play, but you see the damage on the Mew, and you start to wonder if Tyler does have the resources here with only these 2 cards, some switch outs, a supporter for the turn. There definitely could be a cleanup here.
All right. Well, there is that brainwave for the knockout. Tyler is going to promote a Pokemon. Has 2 cards.
He hasn't even looked yet. Now he's checking them out.
Ultra Ball switch, it seems like.
Yep.
Promote the Entei. You can fleet-footed for another card. Radiant Charizard is found. Oh, no, it's a Nest Ball.
How do we mix those up?
I don't know. They're all gold.
No, it's oh, okay. I thought you were talking about over the Radiant Charizard. What?
You got to give me a little more credit than that.
Come on, man. Switch. And the Radiant Charizard left.
This is going to be a big fleet-footed here. Trying to draw into an extra card. If you have just an out to get the Iron Valiant back on the bench, that's pretty much game over.
The whole debate here for Tyler is I don't want to see this Iron Valiant.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just throw it on my bench, hope that the next card I see is anything better, and maybe there's a world where I can draw out of this and close out this game.
Honestly, I'm looking at the prize cards that are left for Tyler.
Can he chain it?
It's an ancient or a future booster energy capsule and a switch. Those are the 2 prize cards left for Tyler.
That sounds pretty good.
So you switch to the Iron Valiant, take the KO on the Mew. He'll find the retreat out and be able to take the knockout with the Entei on the Gardevoir. It's just if Tyler goes for it.
Well, also,
I think you have to.
Yeah, he looked at his deck at that point. He was trying to get as much information as he could. He might just have the read on what these last 2 prize cards are, and he's going for it.
Oh, no. It's not. It got shuffled with the heavy ball. Yeah.
But it's a Colress. That's pretty good, too.
That's pretty good. Switch out at all.
What?
No. What is this?
Bad cards, Jeremy.
he's not able to get out of the active spot.
Wow, that's it. Tyler has to scoop things up here in game 1.
The look on Bodie's face, he cannot believe it.
No switches? That's how it goes sometimes.
I got pranked by our picture of the prize.
Hey, it looked pretty good, Jeremy. I don't blame you there.
There was 3 switch outs in the prize cards, but after everything, it was the Hisuian Heavy Ball and Kohler's Experiment.
Yeah, he took all of them with the first 4 prizes. Oh.
What an unbelievable victory for Bodie there.
You know what? I think today is going so much better than yesterday.
Already, yes.
Yes. Not to blame any of our players, of course. It just didn't really work out when we were watching these games on stream. This is what I'm about. This is fun.
I'm having fun too, Kyle. I hope all you at home are having fun as well. Use that hashtag play Pokemon. Ooh. Let us know how much fun you're having.
Yeah. Where's Sweater Fest?
That is pretty crazy. Let's go ahead and take a look back at how this game started out. Double Battle VIP pass from Tyler after Bodie just had a single Ralts in play. Tyler, unfortunately, not able to get the Yoga Loop knockout on the Mew, just settles for the knockout on that Radiant Greninja. And after a Mirage Step, Bodie's getting pretty set up, but Tyler, again, unable to take any real knockouts other than just the active. And here is that big knockout on Gardevoir EX, putting a lot of pressure on Bodie, but Bodie's able to respond right away with a knockout of his own and just hoping that this Iono sticks. And Tyler had that one switch, taking the knockout, finds the Kohler's Experiment from the prize cards. And this Kohler's Experiment is up there for one of the worst I've ever seen.
I mean, we started with 2 Battle VIP Pass and we ended with 2. It did not work out.
That is rough. And look.
Yeah, he's going to move on to game 2 like he stole something. That definitely feels good. It's, I mean, 22 minutes we're taking off the clock there. Plenty of time for game 2, potential game 3 here if you're Tyler. And I mean, I think things played out pretty well on both sides. Tyler was able to take knockouts, avoid issues from Collapse Stadium, tried to play into a win con and found it, but just couldn't get the right cards off that Colress.
All right, Bodie is going first for this game 2. Tyler opted to go second here. One of the Squawkabilly EX in the prize cards, but he does play 2. Meanwhile, Bodie prizing that Lost Vacuum along with a Gardevoir EX. Nothing too bad, though. And wow,
This hand's
deja
cracked.
vu.
It's absolutely cracked. It's got everything that you need. I believe I saw multiple Curlia in there too. The Psychic Energy to go along with it. The Mew start with the Battle VIP Pass. Woof.
Bodie definitely has that dog in him.
That Tyler does.
Oh, nice.
It's Entei.
Are they dogs? No, they're
They're the
mythical
legendary
beasts.
dogs,
No,
aren't they?
No, mythical beasts.
Oh, calm down.
Jirachi and Ralts looks like to be the picks for Bodie here. Has Fog Crystal in hand. Could also search for another Ralts if he wants. And with no Curlia prize this game, it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there's the awkwardness of having Mirage Step along with Refinement Curlia both in the hand, but maybe you run into that situation where you can play the Mirage Step, use Iono, and then put that Curlia back into the deck.
And then draw the other 2.
Draw the others and then cry. Move to game 3. Start with a Mew and a Battle VIP Pass.
Rare Candy found off the Mysterious Tail. That's a lot better than the Super Rod that was found on game 1. Ultra Ball is going to be played here. So Bodie deciding what to discard. Rare Candy is going to be one of the cards of choice. And, ooh, another Gardevoir here.
This has to be a really good Pokemon.
Ralts?
Yeah, there's a Fog Crystal, though.
You might need the energy thinking about a Mirage Step angle on next turn, potentially.
I hear you, but that was Rare Candy Gardevoir.
Looking at the hand for Tyler, it's 3 Fire Energies, switch cart. There's a Nest Ball there, so that Nest Ball is going to allow Tyler to enable Squawkabilly EX yet again, but Here we do see the energy, and yeah, Bodhi is saving that Fog Crystal for an energy to retreat next turn, if potentially possible. 4 fire energy.
Whoa, this hand would be so bad if not for this one card. Nest Ball to save the day, 1 Squawkabilly in the prize cards. That's why you play 2. And now we get to see the real power for Tyler. When you have all these fire energies in the discard pile, woo, Magma Basin cooks.
And it is pretty hot. Tyler's going to take a quick look through the deck. Check a little bit of prize cards here and there, but Squawkabilly EX is the card of choice. Almost have to with how this hand is. I guess you could have fleet-footed beforehand, but
Nah, I want new cards, and then I want to add a 7th card to it. Just like you were talking about. There's your buff.
Yeah.
We found it. It is Squawkabilly for 7.
Just takes a combo. Squawkabilly EX first came out on the scene, people were kind of hesitant in playing it, only able to use it during turn 1, but a lot of these very fast decks able to utilize it very well. You have the Peony version of Miraidon and this Iron Valiant. All right, we found a supporter in there. Colossus Experiment, Magma Basin, Escape Rope. Oh no, that's not a Colossus Experiment. That's a Professor's Research here. Okay, I think you play down the Moltres, Magma Basin to it, Escape Rope, set up the knockout, and just research this hand away.
Yeah, this would mean that you need fleet-footed first, which we do see now. And then you have pretty good picks on the other side with the Escape Rope, either knocking out a Ralts or that Jirachi.
Yeah, I'm fine with either one.
But he's like, oh, man. Why couldn't you just take the Mew?
It looks like Jirachi is going to be brought to the active spot here. Bodhi valuing that Ralts on the bench just because 2 Kirlia in hand.
You don't know what you could run into. There's a world where a lot of damage gets thrown down. You'd like to avoid that. Battle VIP pass. This is still turn 1.
That is pretty good here for Tyler. Able to find a couple Iron Valiant. It's the one card that's missing out of this board right now.
3 switch effects in hand.
That's pretty good.
That is how the combo works.
Now, would you potentially save it for the next turn? So a lot of the times with these Gardevoir decks, if they're trying to use Mirage Step, which kind of signals that Bodhi is with that Psychic Energy on the Ralts, you don't usually want to play a supporter to try to draw into those Kirlia. So they could be safe in the hand, and Tyler thinks just that. Takes the knockout that's there in front of him, finds the last fire energy from the prize cards.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think you hold on to those resources and try to target down a different Pokemon on the later turns. Maybe start to work on some of that math for devolution or chipping away at a Gardevoir EX later on.
That was a big pickup off the Mysterious Tail with that Super Rod. Bodhi can now put back that Jirachi and Gardevoir if he wants. There was also the potential of maybe, I don't know if he had enough cards in hand, but discarding the Kirlia and Super Rodding just to get all 3 out.
Yeah.
Because there was the Ultra Ball in hand.
Looks like Bodhi's content with this setup, and why not 4 Kirlia in play on turn 2. Bench space available for potentially that Jirachi later on if you use that Super Rod next turn. You know you're going to see a lot of cards. The issue is Tyler's going to be throwing damage around, and this is when the real game starts going down.
We're a Metacham V away from a big Yogaloot play this turn on that Mew. Going to start things off with a switch, though. Tachyon Bits, 20 damage to any Pokemon Tyler chooses. Not his own, but, you know.
That would be a choice of time.
40 damage now on that Mew on the bench. 20 away from getting knocked out. And Tyler really debating. But it looks like just another attack with a Moltres, and I hope this sticks. There is Iono and a Boss's Orders in the hand as well. But this also could be a turn where just Tyler does not play a supporter.
There is a level of comfort just knowing that you are one Tachyon bits away from taking that knockout on the Mew whenever you so please. When you need to slow your opponent down, whatever it may be. Gives you an additional turn to draw out of potential bad hands later on down the road. So continuing to just take knockouts, work his way to that classic 4-prize mark that he loves to be at. This is a turn typically where you would see the Gardevoir EX, but ultimately with the prize discrepancy, we're just a reversal away now, which really could be an issue for Tyler.
Fog Crystal going to thin the deck out a little bit more after the first refinement for Bodhi here. A ton of Psychic Energy in the discard already. You see that Super Rod finally getting played. We're going to see this Curlia line going back in along with that Jirachi. One interesting thing about Tyler is, fun fact, Moltres wins games so far, winning this game too here.
Fun fact.
Second refinement does find that Shining Arcana Gardevoir. Now just a reversal energy away from taking a knockout here. Also with the counter catcher in hand.
Yeah, and that counter catcher is something that Bodhi very much likes, as he threw away Rare Candy Gardevoir in place of that card off an earlier discard.
Shining Arcana on the bench one here finds Ultra Ball Battle VIP pass. That's going to be some fodder for this Ultra Ball here.
Continuing to build, but still has not seen the reversal energy.
There's that Gardevoir EX, such a powerful ability that really brings this whole deck together. Anytime you can essentially cheat out any energy, the Pokemon's gotta be pretty good, right?
Don't cheat, Jeremy.
It's a turn of phrase.
Well, Bodhi is going to find that level ball for the Jirachi and to try to protect that Mew from at least the Yoga Loop scenario. And looks like this is going to be one of those safer turns where you have to play down the Gardevoir, attack with this Pokemon, which doesn't feel great, but I mean, the prize race is on.
Here we have an Iona as well to disrupt Tyler's hand a little bit here, but he's going to get the full 6. Does find the reversal energy.
Hang on. Things are getting interesting now.
Another level ball can go find a Ralts if it's available. Now, do you still go the route of attacking with the Gardevoir EX here? We know what happened game 1. Just a lot of Tachyon bits. Building up that damage that's already placed from the Psychic Embrace, and then Entei cleaning it up.
Yeah, it's
energy from hand's going to help a little bit here, though.
You're going to reduce a little bit of the damage. Only 40 on this Pokemon now. Attacking into this Pokemon without a knockout feels awful.
I'm also just realizing Bodhi's using a bunch of different arts of Psychic Energies.
Yeah, my eyes are on fire.
Well, there is the knockout. 2 prizes for Bodhi, tying things up 4-4. Tyler brings up an Entei V. Access to that fleet-footed. Has a switch card for the turn. Professor's Research in hand.
Yeah, if you're going to find 4 cards, these are the ones. Switch card, a Research as well. Foregoing the fleet-footed, but probably a nod to the fact that this Pokemon will be going back into the active spot at some point after the supporter.
The third Iron Valiant hitting the board is going to be pretty helpful for Tyler. Now filling the bench up with that Radiant Charizard will allow Burning Rondo to deal the max amount of damage. That means just 40 more damage on the active Gardevoir, and Tyler has the knockout. Forest Sealstone can help. That ancient, or the Future Booster Energy Capsule is going to help out a lot with Free Retreat on this active Iron Valiant.
Forest Sealstone. Looks like there should be enough pieces to
you retreat
around.
Forest Sealstone for the last switch out, and then bring up that Entei fleet-footed, and then take the knockout.
And of course, the fleet-footed will just draw you a switching effect. You'll be
Probably,
mad that you had to burn your Forest Sealstone.
That's usually how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Hisuian Heavy Ball here. You can find that Squawkabilly EX. It's not really going to do anything here, but might as well.
It has an attack called Motivate. What do you mean? Maybe this is all Tyler needed.
It does do 20 damage if Gardevoir has 20 HP left.
He's inspired now.
Yeah.
He's going to find the lines.
6 cards in hand. Tyler has the retreat here, but designing down to maybe Entei.
Yeah, this starts to walk into the collapsed stadium issues. This is something that he was able to avoid in game 1, just taking the big knockouts, but he's going to lean into it this this time. There's potential punish on the other side from Bodhi.
Magma Basin does charge up that Radiant Charizard with an energy. Can't attack just yet, but once Bodhi takes a couple more prizes, then you're good to go. And here we see that Burning Rondo. Not going to be enough for the knockout. Look at all those dice. Rare Candy, Gardevoir in hand for Bodhi. Reversal Energy, that's not active right now.
This is a dangerous situation to maneuver around. Obviously, anytime that you're attaching those energies from the Gardevoir EX, you have to consider the stage underneath. Is this Pokemon going to be around if there is devolutions?
Lost Vacuum is going to get rid of that Future Booster Energy Capsule. And here we see the Rare Candy Gardevoir. Bodhi has Iono.
Wow. That is pretty good. Once again, this is one of the major issues for Tyler's deck is anytime that your hand is disrupted, you are not promised anything on the other side. It is fleet-footed or bust.
4 cards found for Bodhi. Not really helpful here. But, wow, is that the Collapse Stadium or is that the Artisan? They're both gold.
Artisan.
Okay.
Still fishing.
Collapsed Stadium. No.
That's a Curlia.
There is 280 damage on that Gardevoir EX. So just 2 Tachyon bits away from getting knocked out. Bodhi retreating here, does not have the Collapse Stadium in hand and used all the draw power available. So it's just going to have to load up this Gardevoir and Brainwave.
Look at all the damage on the board. Tyler's like, oh yeah, I really hope this hand is good.
Hasn't even looked at the 4 cards yet. Is just prepping. All right, here we take a look.
Yeah.
Future Booster, Boss's Orders.
There is a level to when you need to check because sometimes you need a little bit of time to figure out what's happening. You don't want to just let this Pokemon get knocked out and stare at your cards for a minute.
Yep.
So, I mean, look. So many Pokemon just a few Tachyon bits away. Still must consider the fact that Jirachi is in play, so will have to be the ability taking prize cards here.
Draw for the turn, Magma Basin, that's not going to be it, but Colress's Experiment and that Forest Seal Stone in hand could be pretty beneficial. We have seen Colress's Experiment not be that good, but
ooh,
there's a couple of switch outs here. Ooh, okay, I know what we're taking.
Is it the switches?
Probably is.
All right.
Tyler does have to get rid of that Professor's Research, but having switch cart escape rope available to you, it's got to be pretty good with 3 Iron Valiant in play. But wow, there's no Pokemon V.
Yeah, I was about to say it looks like everything is there, except for a Pokemon to put the Forest Seal Stone on, which we don't. It's not in the prize cards, right? It was just Squawkabilly hanging out there. He's not there anymore.
There might be a Nest Ball in the prize cards, but they have moved around a little bit, so be interesting to see if it's still there.
Yeah. Certainly expecting Tachyon Bits to take the knockout on the Gardevoir EX for 2 prize cards. Give yourself even more opportunities.
10 HP away from getting knocked out. Here is the switch to bring up that Iron Valiant EX yet again. Tachyon Bits taking the knockout, gets the Nest Ball from the prize cards.
Wow. There was a lot of good cards in those prize cards. See the switch card there. This can remove the Mew from play.
This is going to be it for game 2. It looks like Future Booster retreat to that Radiant Charizard. We're going to a game 3 here. 10 minutes left to go. This is definitely going to be favoring Tyler going to this game 3.
Yeah, I mean, That was so risky. Obviously, attacking into the Gardevoir EX, understanding the assignment. If Collapse Stadium is on the other side, this game is just about over.
Yeah.
There's not much that you can do. Took the calculated risk. Bodhi played his heart out trying to find those resources, and draw after draw after draw was unable to find the right stadium. That means we're moving into game 3. Looks like maybe 9 minutes to go by the time we get shuffled up. Hopefully we move quickly, and Tyler will have an opportunity to play very fast. It's tricky for Bodhi to figure this out with this time frame.
Well, Moltres wins games, and it is allowing Tyler Matthew to start off this game 2 with 2 quick knockouts. Forces Bodhi to attack with that Gardevoir EX again, taking the knockout on the Squawkabilly. And we thought Tyler would have the knockout, but no, just leaving 30 HP left on that Gardevoir EX. Bodhi digging as hard as he can for that Collapse Stadium, unable to find it. And after that Colress's experiment, finding 3 switch outs, taking the knockout, finding just everything needed for 4 prizes in 1 turn.
Yeah, Bodhi did everything he was supposed to, playing the Ionos and attempting to disrupt the hand from Tyler, and Tyler just continued to find everything that he needed. And that's also a nod to the fact that you don't take that knockout on the Gardevoir. You leave that damage out there. It means the Iono is a little less effective against you, and those resources were all there when you needed the big turn.
That is true. Gardevoir is the deck that plays for Iono most of the time as its #1 supporter. And we are at under 9 minutes left. We have a mulligan from Tyler, it looks like.
Go faster. Here we go. This is the one, right? Both players also understand the assignment and go with a quick gentleman's agreement here.
Maybe. Taking a look at the prize cards. Jirachi and a Ralston, the prizes for Bodhi. Meanwhile, Radiant Charizard for Tyler, along with that Forest Seal Stone. Does play another copy. And Bodhi's pretty good at finding Battle VIP Pass.
It's really nice to ask for the gentleman's when you already see your hand, and it's really good. And once more has the Battle VIP Pass. It's going to move quickly and try to set up these Pokemon. Maybe this is not a Mirage Step game.
Yeah, maybe not. A little bit slow on the gate there. Battle VIP Pass is going to find what looks like 2 Ralts. There is an Ultra Ball in hand.
All the
Radiant Greninja.
We've got the Gardevoir evolutions as well. Radiant Greninja can draw some additional cards. You start running into Kirlia's level balls, whatever it may be. You could see those explosive turns that we're so used to seeing from Gardevoir players on stream, just drawing upwards of 8 cards a turn.
That's a lot of cards.
Yeah, it's more than 1.
That is more than 1, Kyle. Good job.
I got there.
Radiant Greninja is going to concealed cards here, find a couple more cards, and pass the turn back to Tyler. Let's go ahead and take a look what Tyler has to work with here. Battle VIP Pass in hand, Switch, Escape Rope, Colress's Experiment, Professor's Research, Double Turbo Energy. Looking like a pretty good hand.
Yeah, I see why he agreed too. This looks pretty strong here.
Just under 7 minutes left to go. Bodhi's turn. Not bad. Took a little under a minute.
Not the explosive start that we're used to with the fire energies into the discard pile along with the Squawkabilly, but certainly supporter ready to go. Eyes up the Squawkabilly. You can see a lot of cards, but will the resources line up that way that you're so used to seeing? Maybe that Earthen Vessel could be an important card to find later on.
Yeah, a little awkward having the supporters in hand already before the Squawk and Seize. And the couple switch outs gonna be forced to get an Iron Valiant instead of something like an Entei or a Metacham to put that double turbo energy on, just because you want to use as many cards as possible to get those Tachyon bits.
Yep, valuing every switching effect here. And rightfully so, putting the pressure on. I mean, 20 damage could be the difference in a game like this where you're eyeing up those prize cards. Understand that it's going to be going down to the last turn of +3 turns.
First Tachyon bits, 20 on the Ralts. We're going to see the second one, 20 on the same Ralts, 30 HP left. Is there any routes for research first? Yeah.
I like seeing all these cards, and then you have the potential to draw into some fire energies. From that point, then you could discard them with Squawk ability, but find 0 of them.
Yeah. That's how we drew it up.
we need a little more than that, Jeremy.
All right, it is looking like another Iron Valiant EX here. We do have a switch, so we can see another Tachyon Bits. But this is kind of an awkward hand yet again. Still no attacker in play for Tyler.
I mean, you can't argue with the damage that's being placed down, but there's not much else going on. Squawk ability needs to help out here. 6 cards to go.
Squawkin sees the opportunity to steal this game 3 away.
A lot of
well, there's the fire energies.
Through the ordering. A little wonky.
Does find the Entei V, but no more switch outs. Just has the free retreat with that future booster. Fleet-footed. Another fire energy. What is going on here, Kyle?
I don't like it. Bodhi likes it.
This is the first time where Tyler does not have the knockout on turn 1. And Bodhi is going to be playing pretty fast here. Concealed cards to start things off. Discards that psychic energy. Has a couple Gardevoir in hand, but is forced to use this Ultra Ball to find a Kirlia.
Yeah, this is a bit of a glass cannon situation. This has to be a solid refinement from here, or wow, gonna take some time and go for the Mirage Step.
This is gonna full the bench up, but there was another Kirlia in the deck, just does not have the space available, and switch card off the top of the deck for Tyler. That's gotta be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't dislike the play too much from Bodhi there. I'm understanding that just 2 cards may not have been able to bridge the gap there.
Fleet-footed did find that Medicham V. Tyler has that double turbo energy in hand. There's 10 damage left on that Ralts on the bench. No Jirachi in play. Can we see a Yoga Loop here?
Well, you can just as easily take the prize cards with Tachyon Bits if you'd like.
No, why do that?
Because I like this as well. Just continue to move some damage around, but it is going to be the Yoga Loop. Take the knockout on that Ralts. See a prize. Take a new turn.
Such a unique attack in the Pokemon trading card game. Yoga Loop, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If it's knocked out by this attack, take another turn after this one. You cannot use Yoga Loop if you used it last turn. So Tyler taking an extra turn here. Gets the knockout. Colors' Experiment found off the prize cards, I believe.
Just 1 switch effect there. Double Battle VIP again.
So with a switch and a switch card, you can get 40 damage on a Kirlia, take a knockout with Entei V on the active, and set up a Yoga Loop for the following turn.
Even cleaning up the board space here, if there were multiple switching effects to knock out that Kirlia on the bench and then take the prizes on the active, leave your opponent with just 1 single Ralts, 1 single Kirlia.
Oh yeah, I think he has everything available with those future boosters attached. Switch card, that's 40 damage. Oh no, he's missing it.
Yeah, it's 1 short. Obviously, we have the retreat available, but do the prize cards have a switch?
How about a Battle VIP Pass? There was a 4 Seal Stone in the prize card.
Could you imagine?
Oh my gosh. Well, the knockout on the Refinement is going to be a little bit better than taking the knockout on this Mirage Step in the active. Energy on the Squawkabilly X and a pass of the turn. Just over a minute left here for game 3.
Yeah, this speaks to the importance of removing those Refinement Kirlia from play. There's, what, 1 Psychic Energy in the discard pile?
Mm-hmm.
Damage output is capped. If you cannot get those Psychic Energies in the discard pile, how are you supposed to start to charge these Pokemon up? You have Radiant Greninja, you have 1 Refinement, but you're going to need those Psychic Energies in hand, and it's just the 1 right now.
Concealed Cards does find that Shining Arcana Gardevoir, though, with a Reversal Energy in hand and the energy on the active. That's 180 damage. So if Bodhi finds something like that counter catcher, can bring up that Squawkabilly or Medicham, take a knockout, and just keep up in this prize race as we are heading into time. Discards Corellia, finds the counter catcher here.
Yeah, moving quickly and rightfully so. 5 seconds remaining here, but likely not going to be enough time.
Well, the Shining Arcana attaches an energy to the active. There's the counter catcher, brings up Medicham V. And now we see a Gardevoir EX with just 20 damage on it. This is going to be very tough for Tyler to take a one-hit knockout on. There is the knockout. 2 prizes. Bodhi timed things up 4-4. Time did run out, though, so we'll get confirmation. But it looks like Bodhi is turn 0, meaning he'll only have 1 more turn left in this game.
That's going to be a huge help for Tyler in this situation. Looks like.
You're at turn 0? Yeah, I'm turn 0, right?
But yeah,
Yep,
both players just
confirmation.
confirming that there. Tyler with 2 turns, turn 1 and turn 3, to try to get the job done.
Could also have turn 2. Yogaloop.
Yogaloop just got knocked out. I'm not going to think that.
Yeah, you're right.
That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be fun. A lot of energies in hand. Yeah, this hand is not doing much for Tyler here.
Does it win games?
I don't even think it does that.
Moltres eyed up.
And then I think Bodhi got the boss's orders from the prize cards. Boss's orders means that Squawkabilly EX is prime and ready to get knocked out on that bench for Tyler.
This brings me back to the choice last turn to use the additional attacking out bits, take the knockout, fish for the switching card. Would have been huge if you found it, but missing there means that there's additional damage that's left off the board now. Would have had a Corellia or at least a Gardevoir in range.
Oh, there is a Professor Research in that hand. All right, Tyler has a little bit more play with this hand so far. Escape rope, switch card. That's a lot of outs.
Be a lot of damage available here. The issue is incorporating the escape rope means that taking a knockout on the active Pokemon becomes a lot more difficult. Can you do it without?
Tyler gonna think through this turn. Magma Basin to that Moltres there.
Math's just going to be a little short there to take a knockout on the active, but maybe we see another situation where you leave the damage in play. Your opponent needs to fish for that collapsed stadium, and then you can clean up on that final turn 3.
Now
Is there a collapsed stadium in there?
There was the option of, if Tyler is forced to use the escape rope this turn, you can escape rope first, see what Bodhi brings up, and then you can place your damage around that later. But I think with this route, Tyler's going to save it and just put as much damage on the active as possible.
Yes. This certainly looks like the attack Gardevoir for everything you got.
Retreat, fleet-footed. Entei V is not going to be a helpful card here. And Burning Rondo for 200 damage. That means 50 HP left on that Gardevoir EX in the active spot. And it is now Bodhi's last turn of this round 13. Double level ball off the top's not really going to help, but you can thin. Or not.
There is boss's orders in the hand as well, so if you want to target a Pokemon with less hit points, certainly have the option to do just that. The only issue there is you're not going to be disrupting the hand, which we've seen classically Bodhi loves to do on a turn like this. Reduce the amount of options that Tyler will have. Then you avoid maybe some of those switching effects that could clean up this Gardevoir EX.
Fog Crystal does find a Psychic Energy. You can use that to concealed cards. Dig a little bit further for that Collapse Stadium.
There was some force there. Really looking for some help. Iono's found.
But it also depends what their agreement is, right? Prizes, board state. Screamtail played on the bench. Another Curlia and another Gardevoir. So at least 4 more cards to be seen for Bodhi here. If we see the Collapse Stadium, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, Screamtail certainly a nod to that. Iono is going to go fishing. 4 cards to see, but then, of course, some additional draws.
Not yet. Last refinement here. Big 2 cards.
Ooh. There was an Ultra Ball in that hand. There was thinning potential. But I suppose you do always run into that situation of shuffling for the Iono and running into those bad cards, so can't blame Bodhi there.
There is the retreat. Enough energy in the discard to take the knockout on the active Entei V. Thanks to Brainwave.
Oh, this is going to be a turn right here. So much damage on the board. Tyler sees 1 switching effect, a 4 is Sealstone.
And an S-Ball to find that V to put it on.
This is quite a setup, Jeremy.
Iron Valiant to the active spot with that Future Booster Capsule. Finds the 4th Iron Valiant, but can't really play that down if you want to use that 4 Sealstone. You need 3 Tachyon Bits to take the knockout on that Gardevoir EX.
Dillian, just checking out the math. It's going to be 3 uses of Tachyon Bits to take a knockout on the back Pokemon, that Gardevoir EX. Moltres would be able to clean up a Pokemon like that Gardevoir.
Okay, I was scared. I thought there wasn't Entei left. But there is.
Don't do that to me, Jeremy. There is the retreat, of course, the switch cart, the 4 Sealstone. 4 Sealstone could go find a card like that. Research. I think the odds are certainly in Tyler's favor to find a closeout here.
Earthen Vessel going to find that last fire energy for Tyler. For Sealstone on that Entei fire, and we're going to have that Star Alchemy. Search your deck for any card. Put it in your hand. There's that Boss's Orders you can eye down as well.
Oh, is that, yeah, is that just the easier guarantee too? You could.
Still has not used Tachyon Bits, so maybe you take the knockout on the active with Tachyon Bits, Boss's Orders, the Gardevoir EX. Now you're down to 1 prize card, but Iono is going to be the card of choice for Tyler here. Maybe needing 2 cards instead of just the 1 that Star Alchemy provides. There's the switch card.
Board state discussion versus prize cards is always something you consider here with the gentleman's agreement. What is the case? Tyler looks like he could go down to just 1 prize card remaining. But then would Bodhi just say, I had the response? Looks like he probably would. So Iono has to disprove that.
Puts the 20 on the Gardevoir, 10 damage away from getting knocked out now. Iono, 4 cards for Tyler here. Is that
there's
nothing?
No switching effects.
This is not what you want to see yet again. You can go ahead and retreat, take the knockout on the Gardevoir EX, but that's it. Bodhi would have game next turn with the Gardevoir if there was a next turn.
Well, you knock out the Gardevoir. Not even, yeah. It's you don't even keep up in the prize exchange here. That was a complete whiff. Yeah, it looks like both players understand what just happened there. Tyler would take the knockout there, get that additional prize, go down to 3, but it wouldn't be enough. It looks like Bodhi would have had the resources to close out. See how they signed the slip, but nonetheless, still a really great series that we had there.
Oh, yeah.
I wish we had, what, maybe 5-7 more minutes. That would have been unreal.
All right, does look like Tyler gave the win to Bodhi Robinson, and there you have it. Bodhi winning our round 13 here. Still alive in the tournament to try to make top 8.
Yeah, and what an unbelievable start to a Masters series here. It's your first year in the Masters division, and you're continuing to find so much success, reaching day 2 over and over and over again. Maybe it's time for the top 8.
Maybe indeed. What a great first season in Masters for Bodhi so far, and it's still a lot more to come. There's still 2 Swiss rounds left for these players to try to lock up a top 8 spot here in Portland.
Yeah, did you expect to see